by his best friend, his Marnie, Rob Gronkowski. And that Bucs defense did the rest. Bucs win Super Bowl 55. Brady wins MVP number 5. And we win. Michael Vick joining us this morning. Mike, you were on the Brady bandwagon all season long. We got to ask you, was Super Bowl 55 more about the Chiefs' loss or the Bucs' win, in your opinion? And good morning to you.
Good morning to you, Jen, and good morning to all. Look, this was more about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in totality, the entire team in all 3 phases: offense, defense, even special teams. Ryan Suckup got in there a couple times and banged out a couple extra points and field goals. And you know, when you look at everything, when it all breaks down, I think when, you know, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers was able to exploit the Kansas City Chiefs in the offensive line, Patrick Mahomes had no chance from the first snap of the ball game, and Brandon said it. Brandon said it, and I underestimated it. I even said Todd Bowles and his defense and the scheme. I said I'd take speed over scheme any day, meaning misdirection, right? Meaning screens, meaning putting the ball in the hands of Tyreek Hill. I'm gonna keep it 100 today. That's all I seen. I got to be real.
Thank you.
But you know that wasn't the case. You know, the case was, you know, they came in, they took advantage of everything that was put in front of them. You see the push by Dominic Sue, you know, and they played some good football. And the Bucs team, they was hot. They came in. You know, it was about Brady getting his 7th. It was about Bruce Arians getting his first, and the rest of those guys who didn't have a chance to win one in their career and finally got to this point, getting there and getting it done. So, man, it was more about the Bucs in all 3 phases.
I appreciate that, Mike. That's why I love you, man, because you can come up here on national television and say, you know what, I was wrong. Nick, I don't know if it's because I know you, I'm on this show, but everybody hit me up yesterday like, Brandon, who do you like? Who do you like? Tampa or KC? I said, listen, do you not watch the show? I've been talking about it for weeks now. Everybody's asking me, you know, who should I pick, because I want to bet $20 here. I'm betting my aunt $40 on who's going to win. Is it going to be the Bucs, or is it going to be,
actually took all those bets.
The Chiefs?
I was on the other side of all those
you
bets.
took all those?
They all bet with me.
It wasn't your
well,
aunt, it was
everybody
Nick.
hit me up, and I said, right. And I said, guys, it's simple. It's going to come down to Tom Brady playing clean. And if Tom Brady plays clean and he doesn't throw a pick, and that front 4 gets to Mahomes, it's lights out. And that's exactly what happened. Now, obviously, there's 4 quarters. There's so many other moments in the game. There's so many other situations that we can talk about. But that's what the game came down to. Patrick Mahomes was running for his life all night because they were able to get pressure on him with that front 4. And the biggest factor was them getting that lead. You can't give that type of defensive line that type of lead. It reminds me of Robert Mathis. It reminds me of Dwight Freeney having Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning always had the lead, so that's why those guys was able to pin back their ears and get to the quarterback game after game after game. And that's what we saw last night, and that's why Patrick Mahomes looked the way he did.
Well, and I'll go a step further. Listen, I think this is about the Bucs, and we've spent a lot of time this morning talking about Todd Bowles and the brilliant defensive performance and the fact that the Tampa was able to rush for and constantly get pressure, play after play after play. But on the Chiefs side of things, the other thing that I saw was a team that never panic a little bit, because they had a good game plan early on. You're going to rush. You're going to try to rush up the middle. Mahomes is running for first downs. They were running speed sweeps. And then all of a sudden, to me, the most significant moment early, aside from, I think, some very questionable calls in the second quarter, was after the Chiefs, it's 14-3 Tampa, and the Chiefs are driving, and in that moment, at the 2-minute warning of the first half, speaking of gambling, it's 14-3 Tampa. The Chiefs are in the red zone, and the live line was a pick'em. Meaning, even though the Chiefs were down 11, Vegas said it's a coin flip game. Why? Because everyone thought the Chiefs were going to score a touchdown there, then get the ball to start the second half down 14-10. When Tampa held them to a field goal there, I think the Chiefs started to press. And you saw it by the fact that Andy Reid called timeout, and I love Andy, but it was inexplicable.
Brutal.
Calling timeout on 1st and 2nd down when the Bucs were going to go to halftime. They were going to go to half 14-6. But Andy felt the need in that moment to what? Try to get a punt with 40 seconds remaining so you can add another 3 points, even though you were only down 6. Then all of a sudden it's 21-6. The Chiefs open the half with a field goal, not a touchdown, and the floodgates started to be open. So, Wilds, I thought you saw Tyreek drops a touchdown on an amazing play from Mahomes. Late in the game, Williams drops a touchdown on one of the most amazing incompletions I've ever seen. Kelsey dropped a huge 3rd down pass early. I think you saw guys get a little tight, and the defense had no answers throughout the entire game. For the Bucs, to be honest, pretty predictable attack. The defense after the first 2 drives could do nothing.
I agree. Mike, I think we've heard a lot of takes from the media and fans, but since you're our resident quarterback, I wanted to sort of have a thought experiment and see if we can get smarter on how 31 other quarterbacks are thinking about this game and how you would think about this game if you were still playing. Because we have 2 sort of competing narratives. We have the longevity of Tom Brady still getting it done at 43, and we have the carpe diem, seize the day attitude of the Bucs. Let's win right now. And they seem to be competing. So if I was a quarterback, I would sit here and say, I can play till I'm 40. I should relax and just make my play, and I'll get to a Super Bowl. Or do you think I'm sitting here saying, you know what? The Bucs went all in on Tom Brady. They weren't worried about the salary cap. They were getting the players that they need, and they tried to win this year. What do you think the other quarterbacks are leaning towards? Longevity or carpe diem, seize the day right now?
No, they think about winning it right now. You know, in today's game, you know, you don't know where your longevity lies. You don't know how long you're going to play the game of football. You know, it's about winning now. It's about building the team, assembling a team that you can, you know, push forward week in and week out with. And without that, you know, there is no longevity. Without the right team around you, you don't play for a long time. So it has to be a win now attitude. And all 31 quarterbacks around the league who are looking at Tom Brady, who watched this game last night, who watched how this team was put together, how he validated certain guys, bringing in Antonio Brown, bringing back Gronk. You know, you got to be more proactive. And I think when you look at guys like Deshaun Watson, that's really all they want. You know, so, you know, it's time for the administration to take a good look at, you know, what the players really want and what they're trying to stress and what they believe in and take it into consideration. And then you look at a team like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who just won a Super Bowl and probably going to win multiple because they got the right guy, the right leader, and they believed in his word.
Great question, Wilds, and great answer, Mike. I mean, think about these names. Russell Wilson, Drew Brees, Peyton Manning, hell, Aaron Rodgers, the MVP this year. Look how tough it's been for them to get back to the Super Bowl. So when you think about it, you got to go right now. And to your point, Mike, you know, the Deshaun Watsons of the world, even the Russell Wilsons of the world, they got to be looking at ownership. They got to be looking at their head coach. They got to be looking at their general manager saying, we got to do this now. Because it's hard to win a game in the league, let alone a Super Bowl. So what can we do today to ensure that we are going to be in position to succeed at the end of this year? So great question, Wilds.
And Patrick Mahomes is hoping for both. He wants to win now, and he wants to win for a long time. But it was a tough night for him last night. It did not go according to plan at all. How much of the loss do you pin on him? Do you put on his shoulders? We'll talk about that next. First things first.